Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is another installment of Fat Chat. It's been really great getting to know the weight loss journey of other blokes out there and to get an idea on how everyone gets to the same goal, but through different avenues and they have different motivators. I've got someone with me today who I'm very excited to talk to. He's no stranger to weight loss or the man shape. I've got Simon with me today. How are you doing today, Simon?
Good, thank you. Thank you very much. Good.
Oh, that's really good to hear, my man. How's your Sunday morning going so far?
So far, so good. It's a little bit cold here in Melbourne. I'm just sort of looking out the window here, and it's a bit overcast. But yeah, nothing else much planned, unfortunately, for the day. Lockdown and all. Just sort of sit around, I think.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You got to make do, and who would have thought that we'd be having a chat via video conferencing in this day and age, and it's just become such a normal
Crazy.
thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I'm out here with my coffee because it is Sunday morning, and it's
That is
just
huge.
it is a pretty big coffee, but I drink it over a bit of time, and I've got a man mug.
Yeah, I'm here just repurposing my Soda Stream bottles.
Love it, mate. Love it. Well, for all those people who don't know you, you've had a pretty crazy weight loss. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm 37, 36. I know that's very strange, but I'm like, wait, how old am I now? So that's always a little bit like that. Um, yeah, I'm just from Melbourne. I've always I have struggled with my weight for many, many years. I think it really started. Actually, I was thinking back about this chat, and I'm thinking how was some of the things we're going to talk about here, and it's how did your weight start? How did you feel? All the rest of it. I think for me, I was really trying to pinpoint what happened or like which way I started going towards being overweight and then ending up being so overweight. Um, I couldn't say there was like one big issue, and I've really thought hard about this. Some people suffer some trauma or some loss or whatever it might be, and that sort of spirals down to a weight loss or different issues. For me, and this is going to sound really sketchy, but it was moving into high school. So from primary school,
Right.
everything's very structured and for you. Here's your lunch, here's your this, we're doing that. Then when you get to high school, for me, it was very different. The canteen, sells hot chips, dim sims, hot dogs, all this sort of stuff. Whereas at primary school,
Yes.
you get the lunch every day. The primary school cafe was called the Hungry Hut. They had frozen pineapple, um, water, ices, all this sort of stuff. It was very healthy. Moved to high school, it's like, well, hang on a minute, this is chaos. Like hot dogs, dim sims, whatever you feel like, and then you're catching the bus to school. So you're at the train station. They got the cafe at the train station. Oh, fantastic! I'll get something to eat at the train station. Before I know it, I'm going, hey, I'm getting a bit bigger here, and it's going towards the end of school, and it just continued on. Then I got my license, and I have no reason to do any exercise ever whatsoever. Like, why would I? I'm amazing. I've got a license. It's fantastic. I'll drive everywhere. Whereas prior, for me, when I was a lot younger, anything I wanted to do was on my bike. So it was ride your bike here, ride your bike there. And that sort of kept it under control there. Once I got the car, um, hanging out at McDonald's with your mates, listening to, those guys parked at the front with the stereos flat out, doing all that kind of stuff. And I'm here, I'll eat 20 nuggets. I'll eat 20 nuggets, And before I knew it, it was just completely out of control. And it wasn't like a one sort of minute like that. It was an increase from probably high school age, which then led me to my final sort of, it was around 160, 165 in the end, kilos, which
Wow.
was just, I always saw myself, when you're looking down at yourself, everyone's going, geez, that's this fat ass. And you're sort of like, what are you talking about? What's the problem?
Yeah.
I'm not fat. Really? Then you
Yes.
start hearing it a bit too much.
Mm.
Then I've got mates that were you'd go shopping with them and they'd go to JJ's and buy 2 pairs of jeans for $29. You know, some ridiculous sort of amount like that. And I was going to High and Mighty, the big guy store, and paying $150 for a pair of jeans, $90 for one shirt, you know. And it was probably, the weight loss was, it was probably about 5 years ago that it really just hit me. And I decided to have weight loss surgery because it was just getting too much. I had tried shakes, OptiFast, diets, the keto, this, that, heaps of stuff. And I didn't get to the size that I was because I'm a motivated individual. Motivated enough to go and do exercise. Does that make sense? Like, I didn't get to the size that I was because, hey, I'm really strong and got willpower and I'll do all this exercise. I didn't, and I didn't know what to do, and that led me to having weight loss surgery.
Wow. What an answer. Yeah, look, with the high school canteen, I 100% hear you, and that was where I gained a lot of my own weight. It's the chicken and corn rolls were my go-to. The potato scallops, and they had vending machines in every block. It was just, it doesn't formulate well. And I want to come back to that one. But you mentioned that you had weight loss surgery.
Yep.
What surgery did you have?
So I had, there's a few names. They call it the sleeve or VSG, vertical sleeve gastrectomy, or sleeve gastrectomy, what do you want to have? So effectively it was having, and don't quote me on the numbers, I'm no professor, I think it was around that 70%, 60% of your stomach removed completely, permanently. So instead of having a football sort of shaped stomach, you just end up with a thin tube sort of type stomach situation. Yeah.
So they remove it completely. It's not like just a bypass.
Yep.
No,
completely gone.
Wow.
I really, when you look at your stomach, it's sort of this, it's a bit on this side here, and then it has a balloon out on the side there. And I remember looking at it from the professor when he was showing me all we're going to cut here and we're going to cut here and all the rest of it. So I remember his little diagram, and basically it was, your stomach goes like that, then it balloons out at the side, and it was just cutting that balloon bit off. And then it sort of staples, and so you just end up with this sleeve. I guess that's why they call it a sleeve, tube, whatever you want to call it.
So you obviously had medical advice leading up to that. Like, I mean, did your doctor, your GP, recommend you have the surgery?
He gave me all the information. He told me that I did need to do something. He's not going to tell me what to do. Obviously, there's a large cost involved. He did tell me I needed to do something drastic, which whether or not that was, ramping up the weight loss, but I tried that, and I'm just not strong enough. I wasn't strong enough for that at the time. So that's what led me to this option. Did a bit of research online, joined a couple of communities, a couple of forums, which were really supportive. You had to wait on your health insurance. So there was a bit of a wait there. And leading up to the surgery, you had to see a psych, you had to see a dietitian. It was all, whether or not that's the norm, I don't know, but this is what was for me, and this is what my surgeon told me the steps I had to go through. So I did all that. And by the end of all that, I was still happy with my decision. So I moved.
How old were you when you did the surgery?
It's probably about 5 years ago.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. And when it comes to the weight loss surgery, I hear lots of people losing a whole bunch of weight, but then because they can't maintain a certain habit, they can gain it like exponentially and then some. Is that true?
Yep. I have put on some weight. Again, I got down to, my lowest was 165. Probably last year I was around 101, 102. And then partying, drinking too much, enjoying the finer things in life, as they say it, and I went back to 117.9 to be exact there. So, and that's how I came across your surgery. Your channel. I was actually trying to find I was actually trying to find someone that had the same sort of experiences as me with weight loss and then putting some back on due to the surgery. And then my dad had told me as well that he had been having, well, I knew that he was having the man shake and he lost 30 kilos and he looks amazing. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. And I was just having a look to see some reviews and bits and pieces. Came across your channel and now I'm on the man shake journey.
Dude, that's so awesome. And
just to get it back down a little bit, you know, I'm really happy with I am happy where I am. Am I really happy where I am? No, I'm disappointed on where I was to where I am now, say last year to now. So I just want to get it back to that. It's not a huge loss that I'm looking for. I just want to get it back.
So now that you've had that massive loss with the surgery, and you've gained a little bit back, does your body react differently in relation to your attempts of weight loss? Like, has it gotten used to like the lower calorie intake, or is there anything you have to do differently to what normal people, a normal stomach would?
Well, yes and no. Like, even to have the amount of man shake that you're meant to have, you know, you have like one in the morning, you're having your snacks, another one, a couple more snacks, and then your dinner. I actually do struggle with that a little bit. And then I think really, is that the volume of the food I'm having or the type of food? Because this is where it gets very interesting for me. I can struggle eating a normal meal, say your steak, your salad, veggies, whatever you're having. I'll struggle to eat that a little bit. Plus the man shake and all the rest of it, because there's substance to that. It's a large amount of intake, regardless of the calorie content. You know, sort of forget that. But I could easily sit there and eat a whole tube of Pringles and a block of chocolate, because that goes to nothing. You just crunch it up, it's gone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that sort of, you know, and that's where I was going. Like, I'm eating a steak and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's so full, I feel sick. But I could eat a whole tube of Pringles.
So if you're eating something like heavy on protein, like your steak and, you know, like the very filling kind of meals, you will struggle with that. But things like chips and that, which crunch down to like a powder, you can just
smash it. Yeah, gone. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's
because when you crunch all that down, like if you got a packet of Pringles and you smash the whole thing to pieces, you're going to end up with a handful of crumbs. But it's still, God knows how bad for you. You know the amount of fat and calories in it, but it's this much.
Now, I just want to say,
a piece of steak.
I just want to give you an idea on my mental psyche being a fat guy, because when you said take a can of Pringles and crush it down into a powder, you get like that thing. I seriously thought, you know what? That'll go a good rub on a chicken, on a roast chicken. Oh my God!
Absolutely.
Wow, just
I've seen actually people do that. Like with you know, Doritos. Now I'm thinking of it too. You smash up all the Doritos and make some schnitzels with it. Like,
I saw one last night. It was one of those video things where they get a whole turkey, they put it in water, they put some salt and sugar and Tabasco in it, they let it sit for 2 days, and then what they do is they put a couple of potatoes inside the turkey and 2 pounds of cheddar cheese. I'm not even exaggerating, 2 pounds of cheddar cheese. They put it inside, and then they rub the outside of the turkey with the hot, like the super hot spicy, I think Doritos, I think it was, like all chopped up.
Yeah.
I'm like, who decides to do this? Like, but yeah. Anyway, getting way off topic. So, like, back to the surgery itself. You obviously mentioned that you had, a bit of a lot of hoops to go through to actually get to the point of surgery. How was the surgery itself, and then the recovery after?
The surgery itself was fine. I got a severe cold like 4 days before I was meant to go have surgery. Yeah, it was it was the worst timing. And my surgeon was a bit like, "Oh, hang on a minute, maybe not." And I said, "No, we're fine. Baroccas, this, that, whatever I could." I don't even remember those 3 days. I was just floating because I was eating so much cold and flu. I was just trying to get rid of it. When I had the surgery, still had a little bit of a cold, which was awkward because when I woke up, tube out of the nose. There's a tube in your stomach. So my nose was running because I was unwell, and I couldn't rub my nose because the tube's, you know, it goes through your nose down into your stomach. It's a drain sort of thing. I'm trying to sneeze, and so that was horrible. You know, and I woke up really. I remember my dad in the hospital, and look, to be honest, I was just crying. Like, what have I done? Like, what have I done, Dad? And he's going, just relax, you're fine. And I remember just sipping water, vomiting, and thinking, is this what it is? What have I done now? I can't just say to him, mulligan, you know, like, I can't take it again.
Undo everything. Gone. Yeah.
And, you know, they were reassuring that, you know, a lot of people go through this, just relax, you're fine. So I was in hospital for a week. That was maybe just under a week. Got home, and I remember the first day I was at home, I used to be a big drinker of just liquids. Like, I don't know if you can relate. It would be like a huge cup and you like scull it down. Yes, that was refreshing. You know, whether it's a huge cup of juice or cordial, whatever it was.
Oh, Coke was my best.
On the Coke, yeah. On the first day I woke up, sat on the couch, and I poured myself this big apple juice. Not thinking, sculled it down. I think instantly I could have just spat it back into the glass. Like, it just came straight back up. And again, that was another like moment where I was just sort of really emotional. Like, what am I doing? What have I done to myself? Days and days sort of go on with that. It got better. Obviously, you had to follow a regime when you came out of hospital. Liquids, purees, this, that, solids, you know, a few months later type thing. It was pretty tough. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's such an easy way out. Maybe for some people, and that's fine. Like, people can have their opinions. For me, it was a really hard time. And I was really second guessing my decision until you started seeing the weight come off. And like fast, you know, I lost 50 kilos in probably 4 months, 5 months. Like,
wow.
I'd wake up some mornings and I'd lost like 1.5 kilos. It was really fast, and I just was never hungry. I had to remind myself to actually, we know we're talking a few months in past. I have to remind myself to eat something. Again, I'm no expert, but they tell me it takes out the hormone that causes hunger. It's called ghrelin, so that's removed as part. That's in the part of the stomach they removed. So, according to the surgeon, you know, you wouldn't feel hungry, and I really didn't. And that was upsetting again for me as well. Prior to that, I was a chef. You know, I was training as a chef, and I had a YouTube cooking channel. So that was a big part of my life. Like, I really enjoyed it. And then to have that ripped out of me and no desire to do that anymore, just because I wasn't hungry, or I'd make food and I just couldn't, you know, I just don't want to look at this, or that was tough. I had to find other things to do. What those were, I actually can't remember, but I'm here now. So, you know, I pushed through it, and I couldn't be happier. There's a couple of side effects. I'm on Nexium for the rest of my life, which is a reflux medication. Because when your stomach is that certain shape, the acid has somewhere to sort of hide on the side. When it's a tube, the acid just comes straight back up. That's the downside of it.
Yeah, that can cause all sorts of problems with your voice and your throat. It certainly is pretty full on. Like, my boss at work, he had surgery on his throat because he had massive acid reflux that actually destroyed his voice. It's pretty serious stuff. But wow, like, I mean, what a journey that was. Because you lost 50 kilos, or just like 1/3 of your body weight, like in 4 months. Like, wow. I'm just spun out from that. So so you said you had to wait a couple of months until you could eat solids again.
I think it was a couple of months. To be honest, me being me, I probably pushed it. I'm not really one for. Wait for a couple of months and just go, yeah, cool story, and eat something, and you go, okay. That's why I said a couple of months, because obviously your stomach and insides are severely swollen, like from being hacked to bits. So I kind of get that now. But yeah, it was probably around a month and a half. I was panicking though, like I was doing stupid things like chewing bread and spitting it out. Like, I can admit that kind of stuff, because I just wanted that flavor. I just couldn't take.
Oh, okay.
I just want to eat a piece of bread, and I couldn't swallow it because I feel like I was dying. So I'd have to. I mean, that's gross, but that's me, and that was my journey of it.
That's a pretty full-on journey. So where are you at now? Like physically and mentally. Like, do you find yourself physically more active just naturally, or what's the story now?
Yeah, physically I am more active. I wouldn't say that I'm an active person though, but I do notice the difference. And mentally, the mental sort of, for me, comes into the physical as well. Like when I was the size that I was, subconsciously not realizing it, I would park right at the front of the shops. I drive around until the park to the front, park. All of a sudden, I really mentally don't have an issue with that, which is such a stupid small thing, but I would park right at the back and not really. Before, I'd drive around for half an hour to find a park, because I guess it was really physically draining for me to walk that far, but I never really thought of it. Now I park at the back, no problems, just power to the. So it's little things like that.
It's amazing how convenience has affected the world nowadays. Like everywhere you go, like if you go to Bunnings, you see like the whole accumulation of cars right near the front doors, which logically makes sense. You want to park and then walk straight inside. But like, now, like being that I've been more moving, and such, I don't mind parking somewhere where I can just easily swing into a park, just forget about it and walk away.
Yep. Not get doored as well.
Yeah, not get doored. And like, I 100% agree. Like I was one of those guys, like I would not go to a shop if it didn't have parking like right near it. Like honestly, like if it involved like, walking down a strip mall for like, 15 minutes or something, nah, wouldn't do it. But now, don't think about it twice.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, like, I mean, obviously nowadays, like, everyone likes to believe that we try to treat everyone equally. Like, how do you find yourself, like, how you were treated when you're really overweight to how you're being treated now, just by strangers and people out there in the world?
I went to China probably 6 years ago when I was at my heaviest. There was people were stopping me in the supermarket. Like I was in the supermarket getting a drink or whatever I was doing in China. People would stop me and want to take a photo with me, or they would just blatantly be like, "Oh my God, you're so fat."
Wow.
Up until then in Australia, you get a few sideways looks. I used to hate going shopping in Australia because you'd carry the big guy's store bag around, so I'd always bring a different bag to stuff it in. Who am I kidding though? People are seeing what you are, the size you are. But me, I'll be sneaky. I'll put it in a bag. No one will notice that I'm buying 8XL clothing. Delirious. But that's how people do treat you like that. And as I said, when I was in China, I was in the subway and police would stop me. And he, rubbing my stomach while he's taking a photo. And you sort of, thank you.
That's
but deep down, like, it's so upsetting. Like, it cuts bad.
It's really awkward.
I haven't been back to China to retest it, but
I don't blame you. I wouldn't go there now. To tell you what.
No, probably now's not the greatest time. No.
But yeah, like honestly, when someone calls you out about your weight, in like you can tell that they're not, that part of their brain isn't there where they hold back. Their inhibition is not there. It's not part of their culture and such like. I've had that happen to me as well. It's just kind of awkward, like, thank you, Whereas you think, why didn't I get angry? Like, why didn't I just tell them to, F off or anything like that?
Yeah.
But I found that when I was overweight, like really, and I still am greatly, but like when I was, a few years back when I first lost the weight, I was people like at the checkout and that. Generally, they mightn't even look at me in the face. Like they didn't really acknowledge that I was there. And then one thing I started to notice is that when I lost a whole bunch of weight, and then do the shopping at same sort of places, they're always, "Hey, how you doing?" Look at me straight in the eyes, and just treating me like I was a bit different, and that made me really sad.
Yeah.
It made me really sad. I was just like, this world, like we believe we're so progressive and accepting, but
I think I probably lost out on some employment opportunities as well over the years, given my size, which at the time,
100% agree.
Don't put it down to that, but on retrospectively thinking, that's the issue. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, as you mentioned before, like paying $90 for a shirt and $150 for a set of jeans at the big stores. I've mentioned before in previous videos where I've been like, this is ridiculous. Like the whole world is getting larger, whether they like it or not, and yet most outlets will only stock up to about 2, maybe 3XL in like the normal kind of designed t-shirts and pants and that. But you have to go to a specialist store for big and tall. And I'm like of this notion, like, look, I'm okay with if you want to charge an extra $5 for the material to make a 4XL in the same design as what you've got in the store, I will pay that. But having to go to a separate store and expect to pay 3 times the price of a t-shirt that's probably made in the same factory, it doesn't sit well with me. What do you think?
I really struggle with those large size clothing as well. I'd go to High and Mighty and you'd buy Jag jeans or whatever, and you're like, all right, fine, I'll pay the money. It was really annoying. But then you go to the other scale where you go to Target, and I don't know if it's just me that ever noticed this. Why is every single big man's t-shirt, why does it always have some junk about athletic team or something printed on it? Since 1984, athletics. You're going, what is this? I'm not doing athletics. I'm buying an 8XL shirt. Why would you print that on there? So I had to pay the money. I didn't want to buy those.
They should have the Star Wars designs.
They should have 165 kilos, and you're wearing a t-shirt that says Athletic Club, and you're like, what?
Oh, you can tell it's just the people like having a joke. Like it's just like, oh, look, they're limited, so they'll wear whatever they want. And the shirts that you can get there, they're all ugly colors. They're all like that off blue or the olive green, the stuff that you just don't like wearing. And Hawaiian, like, what's the go with Hawaii? Like, they're big and jolly, but honestly, I don't want to wear a Hawaiian shirt. But like, they should be wearing the prints, like the Star Wars prints, the pop art kind of prints that you put on those shirts, and they will sell a fortune. Look.
The day that I went and bought some new clothes, probably as well, just noting, the day that I went and bought new clothes, when I had surgery, I took a long period of time off because I've been in my job for like 12 years. So I took all my long service leave, all my sick leave. I had like 7 months off, 6 months off. So I was just around the house wearing whatever clothes I had. The day that I went out and bought new clothes, obviously not these clothes, but to just go to Maya and buy a pair of size 42 jeans after buying size 56, 54 was it was an amazing feeling. It really was. Wow. And paying $39.
That's actually one of my long-term goals that I'm going to be adding in a future video, to be able to walk into Just Jeans or Jeans West. Never ever thought about going into those stores, but to buy a set of jeans just off the rack, just like that, I reckon I'll probably cry. Honestly, like it just, it actually takes a real toll on you emotionally. Just shopping for clothes, you feel like a less human being.
Such a good feeling though once you get to that stage. And for me, I love Costco as well. I don't know if you've been to Costco. I love Costco. They're an amazing range of clothing there, and it's so cheap. Like Tommy Hilfiger jacket, like $40. I'm looking at that going, oh, is it going to fit? Still, is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? Put it on. I'm like, Bonza in the cart because I'm buying it because it fits. And when I started buying new clothes, people would say to me, oh, can I help you? Can I help you? Yeah, I like this shirt. What size are you? And I'd say, I don't know. I really don't know. And they're looking at me like, what are you talking about? Well, I was a L. I don't know.
I'm new to this size.
Try the 2XL, and you put it on, and you're like, yeah, right. It actually fits. I'll take it. Like, it's amazing.
There's a lot of blokes that might be watching this thinking that they can't wait to get to that point, and I say to them, you will get there. If you just keep yourself mentally in the game, you'll get there.
Yeah.
So you started the Man Shake, and like, how are you finding it? Like, since starting it?
Pretty good. I just struggled to get that routine in a little bit, but reasonably good. I was 117.9. Weighed myself this morning. Let me just check here. Downloaded this fancy app.
That's all right. Well, while you're looking it up, I will ask you a follow-up question. What's your favorite flavor so far?
I like coffee. I do like the coffee flavor, and I always chuck a little bit of extra Nescafe or Bogan dust, whatever you want to call it, in there.
Yes. How good is it? It works so well.
Yeah.
I forget who it was that was on my channel who told me to do that, but thank you to whoever that was. I will go back and I will look at it, and I will thank you in tomorrow's video. Thank you.
It's really good. I think I just struggled with shaking them as well. I didn't like the texture of when you shake it. This is my personal preference. So I blend it now, which is a lot nicer for me. I just really enjoy it that way. I find if I shake it just with tap water, like if I'm at work, just shake a room temperature tap water. No, thank you. I can't do it. That's not for me. It has to be ice cold water, and I blend it, and I actually really enjoy it.
I agree with you. I've got a jug in the fridge that I have just chilled water in. I can't have it with like warm or room temperature water. It just doesn't work. And I add 550 mils instead of the suggested 350. It's too thick otherwise.
Yeah, I'm around that 550, 600. Yeah.
So how much weight have you lost? Sorry, you're looking it up.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm at 112.5 as of this morning. So I got my little thing, and I know it's against the code of ethics or whatever you want to call it, but I'm weighing in every day. That's what I like to do because I'm really enjoying seeing this graph that sort of comes up. It's got a nice little curve going on it. So, and it's plotting it every day. So yeah, I was one.
That's 5 kilos, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it is.
How long did you start
5.4 kilos. 20th of April.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. 5.4.
That's really good.
And I've set my goal, and hopefully that will come up. So,
well, a lot of the blokes that have done it already with the Man Shake, they find that it's also good for regulating your diet and maintaining it. So instead of just the loss, they tone it back eventually and have like maybe one shake a day, and they're able to maintain that weight. And Jerd has done it long term. People like Tim have done it long term. Gary, a few of the other heavy hitters or light heavy hitters on the Man Shake page. They've certainly had significant losses there.
And that's what my dad's doing. He's having one a day now. He's just having
you showed me.
He lost 30.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You showed me the pictures of him before and after, which I'll put up here. But like, he looks amazing. Like, he looks so good. Tell him that
I sent it to him the other day. I sent it to him the other day. We're going through some stuff, and my mum's unwell at the moment, so it's unfortunately
sorry to visit.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. And I know my dad gets down. Obviously, it's just him and her together because no one else can visit, so he has to drop her off at chemotherapy appointments and whatnot. So he does get a bit upset. I sent him those photos the other day, and he was shocked himself. And he said he really needed it on that day, and to see the before and after, he didn't know. He knows that he lost 30 kilos, but to see the photos next to each other, he was really, really happy.
It's amazing how much a little thing like that can make a huge difference just to how you're feeling mentally. What's your dad's name?
Daryl.
Daryl, mate, this is my call out to you. If you do watch this video, which hopefully Simon will send you the link for, but honestly, mate, when I saw your photos, you looked amazing, dude. Keep it up. You're looking so good, and you're a positive influence on your son, and it just, mate, you're doing so well. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Didn't mean just to stop.
No, he really did. I was shocked when I saw the photo. I really was. So yeah, he did great, and it was a good motivation for me.
Look at that! Like I'm nearly at the end of my R2D2 coffee, so I think that's
jug of coffee.
Yeah, we're getting there. But look, I wanted to ask you if you could say anything to people that are thinking about starting a weight loss journey, whether it be through surgery or man shake or just other avenues. What would you say to
them? It took me a long time to jump on board. I wish I didn't waste that much time. My advice to anyone is, if you're feeling that way at all and you're feeling unhappy about yourself, and people say, "Oh, don't do it for other people." You know that your girlfriend, your wife, your family are always a bit like, "Hey, go easy on the snacks, champ." That hurts. You know that it hurts. Don't brush it off. Don't do it for them. Do it because it'll make yourself feel better, because you're not going to hear those stupid comments anymore. Just dive right in. Just do it. And you're going to feel better for it regardless. Like if you lose 5 kilos and you give up, well, that's 5 kilos that you've lost. You're going to feel better about it.
Yeah, that's really top advice. And that's what everyone else has said so far. Like, just get into it. The more time you waste, it's the less time you have of being the new you. And no one is ever ready. And I think it was Jared that said that there's never a good time. There's always something going on. There's always going to be some sort of factor. There's always going to be some sort of sickness or something like that. It's just a matter of pushing through it. And what I've done differently is I've done this channel. And this channel has just blown my mind on how well, like, keeping myself accountable publicly has helped myself lose this weight. And I'm still going. I've got a lot of weight to lose. But it's do something different. Just to extend on what Simon says, just get into it, try something different. Whether that be the man shake or whether that be doing your own Instagram or YouTube channel.
Whatever it might be. Yeah, absolutely. Find something different that's your own niche that's going to keep you motivated.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have anything else that you want to say to anyone out there watching?
No, not really. I mean, it's just, if people are thinking about, whatever journey you want to take, whether or not it's you want to have a surgery, summing up on that, probably the worst decision I ever made at the time, probably the best decision I've ever made. And that kickstarted me. That worked for me. It may not work for you. It may not work for other people. People still frown on that kind of stuff. That's fine. Everyone has their own personal opinion. It's what worked for me. I can tell you that it worked for me. If you want to do it, go for it. If you're going to do the man shake and whatever other thing you want to do, just go for it, because it gives you something to do and something to look forward to keep you motivated. Otherwise, you're just going to end up sitting there, just same life. You go work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. Mix it up a bit. Enjoy it.
All right, and I can't believe people would take that away from you and say that that's the easy way out. Like you mentioned it earlier, and to anyone who does that and is thinking a little bit that inclined about the surgery and they're watching this video, just get rid of that thought, because it's like, from the conversations I had with Simon previously to this video, it's tough. It's a really hard slog, and it is by no means the easy way out. So if you know anyone that thinks that way, is putting anyone down for taking drastic options or an option like that to help themselves get healthier, try to enlighten them and change their perspective on that, because it's not right. And it's no different than people getting other surgeries to save their life, because that's what Simon and that's what millions of other people have done, is they've had something done to themselves to save their life and increase the quality of their life. Am I right there, Simon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, look, Simon,
I wasn't motivated enough the other way. That's my personal story. As I said, that's me. I can recommend it though.
That's good. Well, thank you, man. Look, I really do appreciate your time today. This has been just an amazing chat.
I really enjoyed it. It's been really good, and keep making the videos, and you make your videos and it motivates you and it keeps you accountable. Me, every day when I get that bing and it's a notification, I look at it and go, I'm doing the same. It's keeping me accountable as well. So I appreciate it. And I know a lot of other people would really appreciate the effort that you go to ensure that we get the message and we understand the change that needs to be made.
I'm gonna blush here. Thank you, mate.
It's 100% true. You got recognised yesterday at the server or whatever it was. Like, that just shows you what you're doing is making a difference for yourself as well. It's making you feel good and keeping you motivated. And the fact that people are noticing you, that does not tell you that what you're doing is being a positive influence to many people.
Well, yeah. I mean, like yesterday blew my mind, and I feel really good for what I'm doing because every week I get 2 or 3 new messages, like private messages through Instagram or Facebook, from people that have just started their journey, or they told me that I've inspired them, and that to me it just fills me with love, and I just feel so good. And like, I didn't expect this channel to have this kind of impact on people. And I've got about 280 something subscribers at the moment, but I love every single one of you. I love every single one of you because the people that I have commenting and liking my videos and messaging me, they're all just the top of the top people I've ever spoken to. So honestly, thank you so much for all your support as well, Simon. And honestly, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. There'll be a little button that pops up at the end of each video every day. Yeah, so hit that subscribe button. If you haven't liked this video already, throw it a like. If you have any questions for Simon, maybe put them down in the comments below, and maybe he can provide some answers on. Would that be all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, look, guys, I really do appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. Simon, it has been absolutely awesome having a chat to you. I've finished my coffee, and I'm probably going to have to go to the bathroom soon. Go for it. Look, guys, thank you so much, and have a great day.